Contents. Part 1. Manufacturing Engineering. 1. Designing powder metallurgy process, the influence of high sintering temperature on dimensional and geometrical precision. Marco Zago, Ilaria Cristofolini, and Sasan Amir Abdallahan. 2. Process parameters effect on weld beads geometry deposited by wire and arc additive manufacturing, WAAM. Supposit Manicruang, Frederick Vignet, Mathieu Musso, and Maxime Limousin. 3. A parametric study of additive manufacturing process, TA 6 volts laser wire metal deposition. Valentine Kazaban, Audrey Abbey Ackel, and Xavier Fischer. 4. Develop model for controlled depth milling by abrasive water jet of TI 6AL 4 volts at jet inclination angle. Van Hung Bui, Patrick Giles, Guillaume Cohen, and Walter Rubio. 5. Simulation and experimental validation of secondary dendrite arm spacing for ALSI 7MG 0.3 chassis parts in low-pressure die casting. Alberto Vergnano, Umberto Bergamini, Daniele Bianchi, Paolo Veronese, Roberto Spagnolo, and Francesco Lilli. 6. Influence of the whole surface integrity on the fatigue strength of an aluminium drilled part. Alexandra Lacombe, Jan Landon, Manuel Paredes, Clement Churl, and Audrey Benabin. 7. Cold working process on hard metal stacked assembly. Guillaume Pitchin, Alain Dady, Adeline Fau, Clement Churl, and Audrey Benabin. 8. Numerical simulation and experimentation of additive manufacturing processes with polyurethane foams. Elodie Paquet, Sébastien Leloc, Benoit Ferré, Alain Bernard, and Sébastien Garnier. 9. Analysis of warpage induced by thick copper metal on semiconductor device. Michel Calabretta, Alessandro Sitta, Salvatore Massimo Oliveri, and Gaetano Sequenzia. 10. Finite element modeling and validation of metal deposition in wire arc additive manufacturing. Akram Chergi, Nicolas Barreau, Frederick Vignet, and François Villeneuve. 11. Study of the use of sawdust and mycelium composite as a substitute of EPages SR Miralbs, D. Rands, and D. Zouges. 12. Topology optimization design of internal reinforcements in a sailing dinghy. Antonio Mancuso, Antonio Saporito, and Davide Tumino. 13. State-of-the-art on robust design methods for additive manufacturing. Yusuf Maliani, Miriam Orkera, and Dominique Millet. 14. Topological optimization of a mechanical system with adaptive convergence criterion. Miriam Orkera, Sebastian Campocaso, and Dominique Millet. 15. Design for additive manufacturing of a topology-optimized brake caliper through CAD platform-based systematic approach. Enrico Dalpadullo, Fabio Pini, and Francesco Lilli. Part 2. Product and System Engineering. 16. Evaluation of the effects caused by mandibular advancement devices using a numerical simulation model. Marco Mandolini, Manila Caragiuli, Daniele Landi, Antonio Gracco, Giovanni Bruno, Alberto De Stefani, and Alida Mazzoli. 17. Simulation of dynamic stresses on high-performance engine valve spring system considering coil clashing effect. Michel Calabretta, Alessandro Sitta, Salvatore Massimo Oliveri, and Gaetano Sequenzia. 18. Thread couplings stress analysis by radial basis functions mesh morphing. Michel Calli, Salvatore Massimo Oliveri, and Marco Evangelos Biancolini. 19. Computer-aided tolerancing analysis of a high-performance car engine assembly. Andrea Petruccioli, Francesco Gherardini, Davide Pineri, and Francesco Lilli. 20. Review of product design and manufacturing methods for prosumers. L. Asian Sunner and I. Lopez Fornis. 21. State-of-the-art for evaluation of inventive design solution concepts. Muhammad Ershad Yahya, Remy Husson, Amadou Koulibaly, and Hicham Chabain. 22. Systemic approach for local energy mix assessment. Nathaniel Dugier, Pierre Garambois, Julian Gomond, and Lionel Rucouls. 23. Towards a better understanding of open-source hardware design reuse in company community collaboration. Amer Izogi, Roman Pinky, and Jean-François Bujout. 24. Comfort-driven redesign. The case of library chairs. Rosaria Califano, Yolanda Firillo, Giovanni Baglivo, Claudia Chirico, Antonietta Dello Russo, Jose Garo, Michelle Leo, Conrado Pacheco, Gianluca Vitolo, and Alessandro Nadio. 25. Constraint analysis and optimization of NES system based on variable pitch spring. Zhenong Wu, Manuel Paredes, and Sebastian Segai. 26. Generative design in the transmission system of a skateboard. Mikel Iterate, Xavier Amazua, Xavier Garicano, Jose Antonio Oriozabala, Inaki Martin, and Eneko Solabarrieta. 27. Methodology of product sustainable redesign. Case study. Furniture of a clothing retail store. Natalia Munoz Lopez, Jose Luis Santoliacines, and Anna Biederman. 28. Enhanced material-driven design methodology. Lufa Cylindrica's case. Alejandro Plumed, David Rands, Ramon Muralbs, and Gustavo Vargas. 29. A well-to-wheel comparative life cycle assessment between full electric and traditional petrol engines in the European context. Filippo Cucinata, Marcelo Rafael, and Fabio Salmeri. 30. Product eco-design in the era of circular economy. Experiences in the design of espresso coffee machines. Claudio Favi, Marco Marconi, Marta Rossi, and Federica Cappelletti. 31. A novel procedure to design a positionable and stable drilling template for spine surgery. Nicola Capetti, Carmen Brancaccio, Francesca Desio, and Carlotta Fontana. 32. Feature-based modeling of laryngoscope blades for customized applications. Michelle Calli, Giulia Pascoletti, Alessandra Aldieri, Mara Terzini, Gerardo Catapano, and Elisabetta M. Zanetti. Part 3. CAD and Interaction. 33. Magnitude finger forces analysis during simulating pseudo-haptic spring. Jingtao Chen, Peter Mitrauchev, Sabine Coquillard, and Franck Quain. 34. Parametric hull design with rational Bezier curves. Antonio Mancuso, Antonio Saporito, and Davide Tumano. 35. A framework for curvature-based CAD mesh partitioning. Yifan Qi, Lihong Chao, and Nabil Anwar. 36. A topology optimization method for stochastic lattice structures. Filippo Cucinata, Marcelo Rafael, and Fabio Salmeri. 37. Generative design for additively manufactured textiles in orthopedic applications. Versus Ricotta, R. Ian Campbell, T. Ingrascia, and V. Nigrelli. 38. Modeling symmetric minimal surfaces by mesh subdivision. Stefano Rosso, Andrea Curtarello, Federico Bassana, Luca Grigolato, Roberto Meneghello, Gianmaria Concheri, and Gianpaolo Savio. 39. Analysis of the accuracy of reconstruction of a human cornea by two geometric modeling techniques. A comparative study. F.J.F. Canavate, F. Cavas, J.S. Velasquez, J.M. Bolarin, and J.L. Alio. 40. Customization of kayak paddle grips by using reverse engineering, computer-aided design and additive manufacturing tools. Eneko Solabarrieta, Xavier Amazua, Xavier Garicano, Mikel Iterate, Jose Antonio Oriozabala, and Inaki Martin. 41. A fast and reliable optical 3D scanning system for human arm. Francesco Buonamici, Monica Carfagni, Luca Pugelli, Michaela Servi, and Yari Volpe. 42. Sensitivity analysis for simulated annealing-based fitting of CAD models to point clouds of digitized parts. Gazanfar Ali Shah, Arnaud Paulette, Jean-Philippe Pernet, Franca Giannini, and Marina Monti. 43. Digital operative guides for helping first responders in public buildings during emergency interventions. Antonio Ruiz Cardiel, Cesar Garcia Hernandez, and Pedro Ubieto Artur. 44. Design and optimization of a photovoltaic canopy for an electric vehicle charging station in urban environments. Dolores Paris Burgos, Jesus Melgarejo Teruel, Antonio Mateo Aroca, Daniel G. Fernandez Pacheco, Francisco J. F. Canavate, and Francisco L. C's Gutierrez. 45. Taking into account users' perceptions in the design process. Principles to create a digital design tool. Renato Fonseca Livramento da Silva, Angelina Diaz Leao Costa, and Guillaume Tommen. 46. Proof of concept experience in the SPES experiment. First solutions for potentiometers replacement in system maintenance. Diego Paderno, Ileana Bodini, Aldo Zanoni, Antonietta Donzella, Lisa Centofanti, and Valerio Villa. Part 4. Human, Knowledge and Decision. 47. A new smart web platform for plastic injection molds in Industry 4.0 environments. Cristina Martin Donate, Slimane Shakalade, Abelardo Torres Alba, and Jorge Manuel Mercado Colmenero. 48. Causality learning approach for supervision in the context of Industry 4.0. Kenza Amzil, Esma Yahia, Natalie Clement, and Lionel Rukuls. 49. Digitization of operational processes. Use case of standardization in an assembly learning factory. Florian Mignani. 50. Enhanced Manufacturing Execution System MES through a Smart Vision System. Chauki El Zant, Quentin Cherrier, Khaled Benfria, and Patrick Lemen. 51. Design Rules Application in Manufacturing Industries, a state-of-the-art survey and proposal of a context-aware approach. Armand Huet, Roman Pinky, Philippe Verone, Frederic Sagans, and Victor Fau. 52. Semantic enrichment of 3D models based on ontology integration. Stefan Enzechu, Alexander Derupt, Benoit Einard, and Sebastian Remy. 53. Essential issues to consider for a manufacturing data query system based on graph. Lise Kim, Esma Yahia, Frederic Sagans, Philippe Verone, and Victor Fau. 54. Design for Manufacturing and Assembly, a method for rules classification. Claudio Favi, Marco Mandolini, Federico Campi, Paolo Ciccone, Roberto Raffaelli, and Michel Germani. 55. Education in Circular Economy, focusing on life cycle thinking at the University of the Basque Country. Ricardo Minguez, Erlance Lizundia, Mater Iterandobadia, Ortzi Akazu Gardoki, and Estebaliz C's de Camara. 56. Generation of Entrepreneurship Environments for New Product Development. Cristina Martin Donate, Fermin Lucina Munoz, Lina Guadalupe Garcia Cabrera, and Jorge Manuel Mercado Colmenero. 57. Engaging in product development as means to understand the basics of design. Sergio Rizzuti and Luigi Di Napoli. 58. Investigating students' perception on the outcomes of Technical Drawing University course. Barbara Model, Stefano Filippi, Gabriele Baronio, and Domenico Speranza. 59. Parametric Cost Modeling for Investment Casting. Marco Mandolini, Federico Campi, Claudio Favi, Paolo Ciccone, Michel Germani, and Roberto Raffaelli. 60. Initial proposal for a general systems engineering methodology to early design phase cost, value estimation. John Wilson, Theclee Alex, Elise Gruhier, Nicholas Maranzana, Nicholas Perry, Gerard Magnan, Nicholas Perrod, Remy Servanet, and Julian Toury. 61. Industry 4.0 and Decision Making. Frederick Rosen, Pascal Forget, Samir Lamoury, and Robert Pellerin. 62. Multi-criteria decision-making methods in engineering design, an application on medical devices. Christina Renzi and Francesco Lili. 63. Industry 4.0 and BIM. Do they share the same objectives? Laurent Joblat, Christophe Danjou, Robert Pellerin, and Samir Lamoury. 64. Smart tightening development for aeronautical bolted assemblies in an Industry 4.0. Charlie Foyzik, Alain Dady, Stefan Sagans, and Clement Churl. 65. Optimization of Reconfigurable Manufacturing Systems Configuration, a Literature Review. Rachel Campos Sabioni, Joanna Daboul, and Julian Ledwigo. Author Index.